All right, we're getting live commentary with this system. Sorry, it took a little bit while to set everything up, but I will be answering all questions you guys have about Tropical Storm Bertha, which has formed a couple minutes ago, even like 10 minutes ago. I set this quick stream up for you guys. We have satellite image on the right, and then on the left, the cone, and where it's currently located according to the National Hurricane Center. So now we will be taking all questions about the system as I speak. So if you guys have any questions or anything, I will be answering those right now. But this is what we're looking at right now with winds of 45 miles per hour, a pressure of 1,009 millibars, and we do have tropical storm warnings in effect for most of the South Carolina coast. We could expect some landfall in like the next 2 to 3 hours potentially. But that is still uncertain whether this will be making landfall this afternoon or this morning. But right now, we're still tracking this Bertha. So that's 2 storms before June. Pretty crazy stuff. But if you guys have any questions, please put in the chat, and we'll try to answer as most as we can. So, it's pretty crazy to see what's happening with this system. A tropical storm burst that has formed, and we do have those strong winds, but this is what we're looking at in terms of imagery. We could be seeing up to 8 inches of rains in isolated areas, and tropical storm force winds extends up to 23 miles away from the center of the system, center of circulation of the system. So it's pretty crazy to see, but yeah, we do have those winds extending pretty far out of the system. So yeah, if you have any questions, please put in the chat, and I'll be answering those as soon as I can. All right, hi, I'm Cool Guy. What's up? Welcome to the stream. We're covering Tropical Storm Bertha live right now, which could be impacting and making landfall in South Carolina any moments now, getting very close to those outer banks of the system. If you have any questions, please put it in the chat, and I will gladly answer them as soon as possible. All right. So right now we're looking at 45 miles per hour winds, a minimum central pressure of 1,009 millibars. Those are our estimates looking at the satellite imagery, and we are seeing some tropical storm warnings for the coast of South Carolina. This could peak at 50 miles per hour, possibly, I think, based on our analysis. But we're still going to have to see. Do you think it will dissipate tomorrow? Well, based on this, it should make landfall before 2 p.m. It should make landfall in like a couple, like 1 or 2 hours. So this will most likely be gone from South Carolina by tomorrow. If we look here on the cone, it's a depression already by 2 p.m. Wednesday. And it'll be in North Carolina about 2 a.m. Thursday. And by then it will be probably dissipating. So yeah, most likely it will be dissipating by Friday. And it'll still be a pretty big rainmaker for South Carolina and North Carolina as the system moves northeast during the next hours or so. So yeah, probably will dissipate. All right. So looking at this, I'm going to check if we have any update from the National or Hurricane Center. If so, I'll be updating it right now. Okay, nope, still 45 miles per hour. It's moving at 9 miles per hour also. Just for the extra information. All right. So our system here, it's moving at about 9 miles per hour. Let's see here. Sorry if I'm not talking. I'm trying to get the latest info from the National Hurricane Center and other websites. All right, minimum central pressure has just went down to 1,008 millibars, guys. So we're down to 1,008 from 1,009. So let me just change that really quick. But we now have a minimum central pressure at 1,008 millibars. So let me update this. I want the latest information with this system. All right, there we go. 1,008 millibars now. Latest update from the National Hurricane Center and other sources. We now have minimal central pressure of 1,008 millibars, which shows the system is further strengthening as we speak. Tropical storm warnings in effect for South Carolina, winds of 45 miles per hour, and we're seeing this system further strengthening, which leads me to think we could be seeing 50 miles per hour winds before landfall. All right. So this is still an ongoing situation. We are going to be seeing about 8 inches of rain in isolated parts of the coast of South Carolina. And this system will become a tropical depression by 2 p.m. today. So it'll be a very short-lived storm. Probably it'll only be living for an hour or two. So very short-lived storm. But we were going to be seeing this dissipate very quickly. So I'm going to be radius of circulation is at 100, and then radius maximum winds 20. So yeah, the winds do extend about 20 miles from the actual center of the system. All right, so it's actually nearing. It's right off the coast. So it's nearing landfall right now. It's going to be making landfall very soon. So I'm thinking we're going to be seeing a landfall in about an hour with this system now. There's no aircraft recon. But yeah, probably a landfall in around 1 hour or so. GFS is a little bit behind with this system. But it's pretty crazy what to see. If you guys have any questions, please put it in the live chat. I'll be answering as most as I can and I'm able to know. But I have made the streams to help and answer questions for anyone. Not specifically on this system. I'll be answering questions on anything, weather related, of course. So please put your questions in the chat and I'll be happy to answer them. All right. All right, so let's see if we have any update from the National Hurricane Center. Nope. So based on this, at 8 a.m., okay, so yeah. Coast of South Carolina is already experiencing tropical storm force winds at 40 miles per hour. So this has pretty much made landfall by now. National Hurricane Center has just confirmed that tropical storm force winds have started to be indicated at 8 a.m. So we're currently getting those tropical storm force winds in parts of South Carolina. But this is pretty crazy to see. That's 2 systems before June. That has never happened. Well, it has, but it hasn't happened since 2016. Let me check when that last happened. What year did we see? This hasn't happened since well, it hasn't happened for a long time. I know it hasn't happened last year or the years before. So it's been a while. It's definitely showing a very active season for this. But, I'm going to have to see. Please put your questions, as I was saying, in the chat, and I'll be very happy to answer them. Okay. All right. We're still looking at winds of 45 miles per hour, but based on our analysis, I think I'm going to be changing that to around 50 miles per hour very soon, based on my analysis of the system. But we're going to have to see how this does develop. Condition for the system, we have above average sea temperatures of about, let's see here, we have above average sea temperatures of about, I think it's like around 28 Celsius, which is rather favorable for development with this. It's not the best, but it's somewhat favorable. 25, 27, where the system is located. It's a little bit cold, but it's favorable for some development of the system. But we do have above temperatures, much above temperatures near the coast of North and South Carolina, which is why we are seeing so much convection with the system happening, and it's really blowing up as we speak. All right. Does look like it's moving a little bit northeast, but we're going to be seeing this system really take a turn east once it gets into land. Again, if you have any questions in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer them. I'm trying to get the latest imagery for the system, but right now we have on the right satellite imagery, and then on the left the cone in which currently located Tropical Storm Bertha. Winds of 45 miles per hour, a pressure of 1,008 millibars. Hi, Diane Steinsa. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. If you have any questions, please put in the chat. I'll be answering those. We do have tropical storm warnings for South Carolina. So this system, it's still a developing story, but we're getting all of this happening right now live. National Hurricane Center has made this a tropical storm. Wow. Do you think it will strengthen during its attack? I do think we're going to be seeing, based on our analysis, this system is currently strengthening. National Hurricane Center did update us to 1,008 millibars a couple of minutes ago when it was at 1,009 millibars like 30 minutes ago. So it's currently strengthening further. And I think we're going to be seeing a 50 miles per hour landfall. I saw it forming at 3. Not sure what you mean by that, I believe. But 3 a.m.? Oh, okay, yeah. Yes, this has been forming for a little while now, but National Hurricane Center just wouldn't pick up on it. And finally now, it has happened. I think this has been a tropical storm to tropical depression since like yesterday night. But, here it is now. Finally, tropical storm. And we're really seeing this strengthen further. And I think we're going to be seeing a landfall of 50 miles per hour as the center gets better defined and the convection kind of blows up more. All right, let's see if we have any update from the National Hurricane Center. No, we're currently, though, seeing 40 mile per hour winds in South Carolina. Yes, so National Hurricane Center was underestimating this storm like crazy. They had it at 20% chance of forming when really I thought it was like a 70% chance of forming. And guess what? Here we are, actually formed. But yeah, they did underestimate this storm quite dramatically. But we're now seeing this system finally develop. So it's good now. We're going to have to see how this does, if it will strengthen further. But the biggest issue with this, I think, is going to be rainmaker. This is going to be quite a major rainmaker because the wind field is quite small. Tropical storm force winds only extend 20 miles from the center, which is rather small for a system like this. So I think we're going to be seeing about 8 inches of rain with this system, potentially. So it's pretty crazy how fast it developed right before making landfall, which most of us expected at this point. All right, if you have any questions, please put in the chat for those new 5 viewers that are here. winds of 45 miles per hour and a pressure of 1,008 millibars is still accurate at this point. It's about 30 miles away from landfall, so we're going to be seeing the system move closer and closer. Landfall is expected in about 1 to 2 hours at this point, which is pretty crazy, but it's really developing as we speak right now. 2 storms before June 1st. Wow. Crazy stuff. Really didn't think this was going to be happening, but here we are. Okay. Do you have any questions? Anything weather related? Do you think you need more people? I will subscribe right now. Thank you so much for subbing. I appreciate that so much. Do you think National Hurricane will get hit? Oh, New York City will get hit by a hurricane this year. Well, we can't really predict that much, but with an above average hurricane season, it's definitely possible. Will it happen? I don't know, but the possibilities are there. I'm probably giving it like a 30% chance we're going to be seeing a landfall. But then again, I don't know if it will happen or not. It's pretty much impossible to predict. But we could be seeing some tropical storm to hurricane hit New York City. But we're really going to have to see with this season, because I think this is going to be a much above average season. I'm predicting lots of major hurricanes with this. So I'm definitely not ruling out the possibility of a hurricane hitting the north in North Carolina or New York City. And yes, I do think it's going to be hyperactive as well. I think it's going to be more active than the 2005 hurricane season, possibly. And maybe become the most active hurricane season on record, which is right now held by the 2005 hurricane season. So it's possible. It's definitely possible. Will it happen? We cannot predict that, but it's definitely possible. You know, it's possible. By the way, thanks for subbing. Really appreciate that. Mean that a lot. Really hope we can hit 1,000, well, maybe 100 subscribers by the end of the summer with this hurricane season. I'm going to try to get some of the latest imagery with this. So let's check what we have. But it's pretty crazy. I will help you. Thank you so much, Diane Saints. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. All right. By now, I'm probably going to be changing this to winds of 50 miles per hour very soon. Oui. So we're going to have to see. Trying to get some satellite imagery of the system. So let's check that out. Did see how big the hurricane that hit India was. Are you talking about Amphan or Amphan? Because if that's what you're talking about, I did see that. If not, I don't know which hurricane you're talking about. But yes, I did see that. All right. Yes. Oh yeah, that was a pretty major hurricane. Thankfully, it did weaken to Category 2 right before making landfall. But yes, that was definitely a big hurricane. Okay, so I'm looking at the latest spaghetti models, and They're not expecting a landfall around, let's see here, right east of Charlottesville. So pretty much over Charlottesville. And they're not expecting the system to move northeast over North Carolina, Virginia, and Maryland. So this is going to be a pretty big rainmaker. Very big rainmaker for this system. What are the models predicting any? Let's see here. All right. Yes, yeah, I did track that system, the hurricane. I did track it as it was getting closer to India. But yeah, that was a pretty big hurricane, definitely. Definitely agree with that. Okay. Why is that? Yeah, that is true. The Carolinas are getting targeted this year. Arthur hit North Carolina, and now we get this hitting South Carolina. Why is that? Well, it's pretty hard, but it just how this moves. Most of the time, systems that form south of Florida, they most of the time skim the east coast of Florida, and depending on where high pressures are, the systems do get pushed into the Carolinas, which is what happened with this. At Carolinas and Florida, I think, are to be the one that gets hit the most this year. But really, we're gonna have to see. But yeah, the Carolinas are getting targeted a lot this year. So I'm gonna have a look at Wendy to see a little bit some other stuff. You think Florida will be in the clear? I definitely don't think so. I live in Florida, and I definitely think we're going to be seeing most likely a major hurricane hit Florida this year. Kind of hope so, because it would be really interesting to see. But I definitely don't think they're in the clear. Definitely don't. So I'm looking at Windy right now. The European model is showing winds of around 33 knots, while the GFS model shows winds of 29, 28 knots. I think those models are all pretty behind right now. The NAM, though, the NAM's showing winds of 40 knots. Interesting. Okay. Ooh, I can get some webcams of this. Perfect. I'm going to be showing a webcam of the system right now, just to see the conditions. Okay. Interesting. I'm looking at some webcams right now to see the conditions of the system. But those are all like 20 hours ago, so okay. All right, we're still tracking winds of 45 miles per hour. A pressure of 1,008 millibars in tropical storm warning is still in effect for South Carolina with this system. This is still strengthening as we speak, and major flooding is expected for South Carolina with this. So I wouldn't be surprised if it does happen. I don't think the National Hurricane Center has put anything out. I think there'll be a tropical storm for here to next week. Yes, right now the GFS is showing actually a hurricane forming in the Gulf of Mexico. And the CMCs, those are models by the way, are also showing this. So definitely possible. Amanda is set to form in the East Pacific. And that system is supposed to be moving into the Gulf of Mexico, further strengthening into a Category 2 hurricane, and then making landfall between Florida and Louisiana. So most models are showing this happening. So we're definitely going to be seeing another system beginning June, I think. Which is pretty crazy to see that we're already seeing so many systems form so early in the season, when usually that doesn't happen. But all right, I just had an update from the National Hurricane Center. Let's see what they say. All right, let me go on Twitter. All right, so National Hurricane Center just said that Bertha is expected to produce heavy rainfall across portions of eastern and central South Carolina, west central to far southeastern North Carolina, and southwest Virginia. The rainfall may produce life-threatening flash flooding. Bertha is expected to bring tropical force winds to portions of South Carolina coast within the warning area in the next few hours. So yes, definitely flash flooding is going to be the biggest thing. So still days away. Reading some of the It's only the 5th time we have seen 2 tropical storms or hurricanes before June 1st. So that's definitely interesting to see. All right, so right now, Bertha is 30 miles southeast of Charleston. Okay. All right. Interesting. If you have any questions, as always, put them in the chat and I'll be glad to answer them for anyone that's watching. This will go live until landfall, probably. And then we'll see. Will 2020 be the most dangerous hurricane season? It's very possible. Very, very possible. And with the way it's going right now, I do think this is going to be a very dangerous hurricane season. And I do think this could pass 2005 for being the most active hurricane season, which is right now held by 2005, which had the most hurricanes. They even went to the Greek alphabet. And I definitely think this could be happening this season. Let's see here, the 2005 hurricane season. I did see a lot of heavy storms. The strongest storm was Wilma, and it was the most intense storm ever in the Atlantic Basin. There were 7 major hurricanes, which is a record high. 15 hurricanes, record high. Yeah, so really, 2005 was the strongest, and I think it's possible that 2020 do become the strongest as well. I'll be taking a break for a little bit, and I'll come back in a couple of minutes. And for now, we're subtracting. Do you think there are control? What do you mean by that? Do you think they're controlling the weather? I'm a little bit confused by that question, but They wouldn't have put it so low if they weren't certain. Yes, that is true. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's pretty crazy how they put it so low at the beginning. I think they just didn't think it was gonna. I think National Hurricane Center has gotten more strict on what to put and not put. Like, I think they're gotten more strict on what they're allowed, maybe, or something. I don't know, but it's possible. Yeah. Okay. Definitely possible. All right. Maybe there's an error in the data. Yes. Well, yeah, that's also a possibility because most people, including myself, we were all thinking it was going to be developing as a we were all thinking it was going to be developing as a tropical storm, and the National Hurricane Center wasn't even putting it as a disturbance. And then they just put it 20%, and they were talking about how there was too much dry air and wind shear, which really wind shear wasn't a problem, and there's like no dry air at all. So most people are very confused, including myself, on why this was the way it was. But now they're finally agreeing with us, and it has formed. But maybe there was an error in the data. It's totally a possibility. Totally a possibility. Alright, I will be going and leaving this as a little automated stream for a little bit before coming back. Thanks for tuning by for now. Alright, I am back answering more questions. But we won't be here much longer here. This will probably be going to an automated stream uh, at 9:20, 9:30. But we are still tracking the system very closely. And any questions will be answered. Also, if you want to shout out for your channel, subscribe to Lasty News. Follow me on Instagram at Lasty_news. Like this video and comment done in the chat. Alrighty. Probably not. I don't think those are the effects of the corona. No. I mean, I don't really think how it could be, but no. Not too sure what you mean by that. I mean, those are definitely going to be a big, like, with the entire pandemic and then this system making landfall, it's definitely going to be harder. It's going to be a bigger problem than probably expected, but no, I don't necessarily think those are the effects of the pandemic and the virus and everything, but who knows? More than 6 major hurricanes, it's possible. Right now, I'm thinking probably 4 to 5, but it's possible. On average, I believe there's like 3 major hurricanes in a season. It's definitely possible. I think there might be 6. In 2005, there was 7, so 7 major hurricanes in 2005. So there could be 6, 7. It's 7's possible. It's definitely not out. Not out of the book, not ruled out. So, but 6 is a possibility. And I do think we could be seeing that. But again, like with this El Nino, we're going to be seeing much better conditions in terms of wind shear. And then with higher than usual temperature for the waters and everything, it's going to be definitely very favorable for major hurricanes. Maybe we'll see the new strongest hurricane, like with 190 miles per hour. Who knows? But it's definitely going to be hyperactive, and 6 it's a possibility. Very likely. Well, not likely, but very possible, I'm going to say. Very possible. Very, very possible. Okay, so as we speak, I believe we're now going to be updating those winds to 50 miles per hour, potentially. Let's check the National Hurricane Center for any new updates on this. They're still going with 45. It's been an hour since this has been made a tropical storm. But they're still going with 35. Let's see if this has changed. Ooh, all right. Maximum winds now of 45 knots. And I believe this does mean it's now 15 miles per hour. Yes. All right, miles per hour now. We do have 51 miles per hour winds for the system, guys. It's at 51 right now. But yes, we do have those updated. I'll be changing that. Category 6 will be a factor in this new world we're living in. Yes, Category 6 will definitely be happen. But yeah, we now have 45 knots, which does equal to 51 miles per hour. So I will be changing that as we speak. I'm going to be running that to 50 miles per hour. Here we go. We now have winds of 50 miles per hour with this system. Believe it or not, guys, it could further strengthen to 55 miles per hour, possibly. Did the pressure change? 1007 millibars. All right. So the pressure for the system has also decreased. We're now at 1,007 millibars. So this is strengthening very quickly as we speak right now. But all right, so we now have a pressure of 1,007 millibars. All right. I mean, could it has its peak at 60 miles per hour? Is that a possibility? I don't know. But 55 miles per hour now. So definitely higher than what we had before. Winds of 50 miles per hour. Let's see here. Yep. And we have gusts of 60 miles per hour. It seems like. Do we have some new satellite imagery that I can be giving you guys? Okay, the latest satellite imagery. My mom. Okay, I'm going to be updating this to the latest satellite imagery now. I have just got and received the latest satellite imagery of the system. So I will be updating this to the latest satellite imagery momentarily. But I'll still be taking more questions while this is being done. But yeah, believe it or not, 50 miles per hour now. Crazy stuff. Crazy. Definitely didn't expect it. Definitely not. Delayed us by 9 days. But here, subscribe to this channel. You have the latest right here. I'll always bring it. Right here, 50 miles per hour now, and a minimum central pressure 1,007 millibars. This is predicted to potentially further strengthen to a 55 miles per hour right before making landfall, potentially. So, still have that potential right now of it happening. Pretty crazy stuff. Okay, very nice. All right. Why is this not downloading? Who knows? Trying to get the latest satellite imagery, but does not want to right now. I'll be getting that as soon as I can. Satellite imagery. Tropical storm Bertha. Not gonna lie, it's looking worse than it was right now. But it looks like it has moved a lot to the east. Okay, so we have brand new satellite imagery, and I think this has moved back to the east. So I think we're now going to be seeing a landfall further to the east, maybe even almost to North Carolina now. Pretty crazy stuff right here. Oh, you're back. Hey, what's up? We now have winds of 15 miles per hour, minimal central pressure, 1,007 millibars, and latest satellite imagery is indicating a possible landfall now in North Carolina, which is going to be leaving time for further strengthening of the system to a potential 55 or even 60 miles per hour, potentially. which is very, very crazy, guys. Very crazy stuff. All right. Very crazy stuff. Why is this not loading? We're trying to get the latest satellite imagery, but it's not working at the moment. But I will get it as soon as it's possible. Okay, but the new center, I believe from the latest satellite imagery, this system looks to be moving further northeast, indicating towards a possible landfall in North Carolina. Believe it or not, guys. Very crazy. But we're definitely getting less convection now, though. So maybe it's not strengthening like we thought. Who knows? All right. Oops. We're inserting the latest satellite imagery now. Let's see here. Alright, I'm trying to get the latest satellite imagery out of this, but Yep, that's definitely pretty crazy. You just wake up and then you just have a tropical storm that's coming right for you. Just wake up. Yep, no time to prepare. Um, yeah, it's very crazy. Like yesterday, it was just a storm in the ocean, and now it's like a tropical storm with like 50 miles per hour winds. Could even become a hurricane, who knows? It's definitely like quiet, stressful, and scary. Definitely no time to prepare. Now, it's not a hurricane, so, do you really need to prepare? Yes, but I'm trying to get the latest satellite imagery, but I'm having some technical issues. So we're gonna have to stay with the old one. But pretty much, we now have a kind of like a new path for the system. What did I miss? Not too much, except that we now have tropical storm Bertha that has formed. Um, Winds of 50 miles per hour and a minimum pressure of 1,007 millibars. And we now have tropical storm warnings for South Carolina. So, that's where we are right now. Landfall is hours away in the next 2 hours, potentially. Right now, I'm looking on my radar on my phone, and it really looks like landfall is like hours away. Probably next hour, so we're going to be seeing landfall of this system happening. But, alright, so I'm looking. Yeah, so right now, by 10 a.m., we'll already be at landfall, pretty much. We're minutes away from landfall, I'm going to be seeing. Let's see here. Yeah. Hours away right now. We have gusts of almost hurricane wind gusts. We have now gusts of 65 miles per hour, which is pretty crazy, guys. Pretty crazy stuff. But, we do have those very high wind gusts now. 55 or 65 miles per hour. So, those are there. We'll be continuing to be live. Probably, can we see a webcam? We're probably going to be continuing to be live until 9:37. Oh my god, I can't talk. Until like 10 a.m. potentially before this will go to an automated live stream. All right. Right now we have flooding warnings for most of North and South Carolina as this is starting to move into land. I'm still trying to get the latest satellite imagery, which I currently am having trouble downloading and getting. But eventually, guys, I'll be getting the latest satellite imagery. Hopefully. There will be no webcam for today's live streams, unfortunately. But I'm do live stream when it makes landfall. It is insane. Yes, same. I'm gonna be live streaming probably until this makes landfall. This is the latest news. Very crazy. Yesterday we had a 30% chance of this forming, and I woke up to a tropical storm hours from making landfall in South Carolina, which really no one had expected at this point. It's very crazy, very unexpected. No time to prepare for anyone that lives in those areas. So really, it's prepare for anyone that lives in those areas. So really, it's very interesting, guys. For some reason, I'm having trouble getting the latest satellite imagery, so we'll probably keep with those for a little bit longer. But based on our analysis, I think we're going to be getting a landfall with 55 miles per hour winds, which right now we're still at 50. But Right now, 45 knots still. We haven't had an update on that quite yet. I'm going to be checking the National Hurricane Center. .45. National Hurricane Center is still at 45, but based on satellite imagery, I think this is definitely at 50 miles per hour by now. For sure. No doubt about that. What if it turns into... Alright, so very unlikely. Possible this could become a hurricane before landfall. But at this point, it's rather unlikely. It's still possible, though, but very, very unlikely at this point. Did we have a new update? Are you saying the National Hurricane Center has updated? No. Oh, landfall has just been confirmed by the National Hurricane Center. Alright, guys, so Bertha has made landfall with 50-mile-per-hour winds. So, guys, landfall has just happened, confirmed by the National Hurricane Center with 50 miles per hour winds. We just had landfall confirmed. Bertha makes landfall along the South Carolina coast, 1,004 millibars. This has just strengthened further. So let me update my stream once again. We're now at 1,004 millibars. Dang, this is very interesting situation we've got going on. This has just strengthened further to 1,004 millibars. Very, very interesting, guys. So this could definitely, it just made landfall, so we're not going to be seeing this become a hurricane, but we just saw that landfall happen minutes ago. And yeah, landfall, here it is, guys. Here it is. Bertha has made landfall in South Carolina, with winds of 15 miles per hour and a minimal central pressure of 1,004 millibars. This is according to the National Hurricane Center at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and it's now moving at 9 miles per hour. And yeah, here it is. Landfall, guys. Landfall has happened. Very interesting. Definitely, I really didn't expect this at all. So, currently loading some satellite imagery of this. But I think no one expected it at all that we will be seeing that landfall happening. But yeah, it has made landfall. It has made landfall at 9:30 a.m. according to the National Hurricane Center. Again, crazy stuff, guys. Very crazy. According to the National Hurricane Center, landfall was at 9:30 a.m. EDT. If you go to their website, their latest update was at 9:30, and they said it made landfall. So, 9:30, 9:40, it pretty much just made landfall. Pretty much. But 50-mile-per-hour winds. And the landfall is here. Crazy stuff. Yeah, to think that National Hurricane Center only had a 20% chance of forming with this system yesterday, and now we have this full-blown strong tropical storm that's just made landfall. Very surprising, very crazy, very unexpected. But what do you know? Here it is. All right. Don't know. I'm thinking of upgrading this to 55 miles per hour. But since it made landfall, not sure if it has happened now. It's going to be starting to weaken as we speak right now. So this will be the strongest 50 mile per hour wind speeds. Will be the peak of the system, it looks like. Believe it or not. This will most likely be the peak of the system. Okay. Still trying to get that latest satellite imagery. But very crazy stuff. If you're new to the stream, please, if you have any question, put it in the chat. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Instagram @Lasting News, where you'll get the latest update before even getting uploaded to YouTube. Also, don't forget to like the stream as always. And if you want to shout out, subscribe to Lasty News and my second channel, Lasty Gaming, where I do gaming videos. And follow me on Lasty News and Lasty Gaming on Instagram. Alright, let's get back to the video now. Alright, so I'm trying to get some more info with this, but maybe I can get a webcam or something from, let's see here, 40 seconds ago, National Hurricane Center just said, Tropical Storm Bertha has made landfall along the South Carolina coast about 20 miles east of Charleston with maximum sustained winds of 50 miles per hour. Just made landfall. Heavy winds and gusting winds will quickly spread into parts of the Carolinas later today, with 2 to 4 of rain could cause flooding problems. So landfall confirmed, guys. We have official landfall made by the system with winds of 50 miles per hour. Minimum central pressure of 1,004 millibars. And it's currently moving northwest. Believe it or not, it's now moving northwest at 9 miles per hour. Interesting, northwest. It's not moving northeast. Oh yes, we did just see a turn to the west as I'm speaking. So we now have the system moving northwest at 9 miles per hour. Interestingly enough, moving northwest at 9 miles per hour. Interestingly enough. All right, but here's the latest from the National Hurricane Center and based on their analysis. 50 miles per hour winds, pressure 1,004 millibars, tropical storm warning for the coast of South Carolina, and the system is now moving northwest at 9 miles per hour. Those are the latest updates and news with this system, as this will move inland as we speak. I'm currently still trying to get the latest satellite imagery with this, which I'm currently unable to do so for some reason. But I am trying to get the latest satellite imagery. This system is starting to fall apart slightly, sadly. Well, good thing for the Carolinas, but it is starting to fall apart very, very quickly right now. and will most likely weaken to tropical depression by 2 p.m. this afternoon, according to the National Hurricane Center. All right. Let's look at warnings map. Okay, so currently we're getting new warnings in effect for parts of the Carolinas, including flood warnings, rip current warnings, and flash flooding warnings. Those are the latest from the National Hurricane Center. We now also have new tropical storm warnings and 100% chance of rain actually in the Carolinas. Let's see the winds they're experiencing right now. South Carolina weather with this right now. Wind. Okay, they're currently, according to this, experiencing 18 kilometers. Why in Columbia? I said South Carolina. Okay. Okay. Well, we don't have much more right now, but oops. I've accidentally exited out the stream right now. I apologize about that. We are experiencing some technical difficulties at the moment, but we're getting that back up immediately for you guys. I'll be now going off stream as the system develops. But here we are, 50 mile per hour tropical storm Bertha has formed on May the 27th at 8:30 and has made landfall at 9:30, 1 hour after forming. This is the latest from Tropical Storm Bertha. The latest from Tropical Storm Bertha right now. All right, there we go. We have this backup for the stream. And I will now be going AFK and leave this as a Thank you for watching. This is Lasty News live coverage now coming to an end. We'll be leaving this until probably 10 to 10:30. But thanks for watching this live stream. This is Lasty Okay, we're back on the air, tracking Tropical Storm Bertha today.
Okay, we're back on the air.
Which has made landfall according to the National Hurricane Center about 30 minutes ago now, believe it or not. But yeah, this system has made landfall, and it is now moving inland with winds of 50 miles per hour, a minimum central pressure of 1,004 millibars, and tropical storm warnings are still in effect for parts of the coast as this moves northwest. Believe it or not, flooding warnings are in effect for most of South Carolina and North Carolina. The system is moving and has taken a turn west for some ever reason. And it's now moving a little bit slower, but it will start to pick up in speed as it rushes out into South and North Carolina. But today we're still tracking this, which has made landfall. Thank you for the good job. Made landfall, according to analysis, with tropical storm force winds with 50 miles per hour. National Hurricane Center is saying that this will become a tropical depression now in the next couple of hours at around 2 p.m., which is pretty crazy to see. But this system formed an hour ago, and it made landfall an hour later, so really crazy. It's kind of like Imelda back in, I think, 2018 it was. It just made landfall a couple hours after forming, which is rather unexpected. Looking at the system, we're still seeing some strengthening, even though the main part has made landfall. We're seeing strengthening happening with potentially, we could be seeing this be intensified to 55 miles per hour, but that is still uncertain at this point since the landfall has happened. This will most likely be weakening from now and onward. But this is pretty crazy to see. This is definitely getting some pretty high rip currents and wave to parts of Florida. Because of this, we're also seeing the potential cancellation of the SpaceX and NASA Crew Demo 2, which is at this moment getting pushed back and canceled because of Bertha right here, which is the second storm to form before June 1st, which is pretty crazy to say. Very crazy. I'm currently trying to get the latest satellite imagery. Yes, am I still alive? I'm still here tracking the system for you guys. Pretty crazy, guys. But we're still trying to get the latest satellite imagery. But it's currently weakening, so this is soon going to be weakening to 45 miles per hour winds. So we're going to have to see how this does develop. Dang, yes, I'm still alive. Wow. Yeah, time to do a haircut, shower, get dressed. And yes, I'm still alive, tracking this probably until 10:30 now. I'm trying to get all the latest. We now have flash flooding warnings for parts of North Carolina as this is moving northwest, but it's going to be starting to take a turn east anytime soon now. But, it's pretty crazy to see how this is developing right now. All right. But we're going to have to see how this, if you have any question, again, chat is where to put it. Please ask me. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm doing class. Oh wow, mine ended last Friday, so that's good for me, but happy to see that you're watching me while doing your homework. Very nice. My #1 subscriber. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Diane. Saying that, shout out to him. He's a beast guy. Shout out to Diane. Saintsa. Yeah, Saintsa. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate that a lot. I appreciate that a lot. All right. Let's get to hopefully 50 subscriber by the end of the month. Trying to grow this channel as fast as we can. You will get the latest news. Oh, thank you so much, dude. Really appreciate that. All right. Super cool. That's great. Okay. But, we're still tracking this. I don't have a lot much to say with this system right now. Except it's going to be a Bing Rainmaker. I'm also 12. Wow. Very nice. Very, very nice. But I'm pretty much 13 almost, because I'm going to be 13 in 1 month. But, yeah. I've been studying hurricanes since I was 9. Wow, nice. I've been studying hurricanes and stuff pretty much since Hurricane Irma. So that was not as long as you, definitely not. But when Hurricane Irma hit pretty much where I lived, that just really inspired me to start to study those hurricanes and stuff. So here we are now. But it's pretty crazy, all of this. This is developing right now.
Comment on dit aussi, c'est quoi ta demande là?
Tropical storm Bertha. I wonder what the last tropical storm Bertha was in its path. The last time it was. Let's see. The last time was in 2014. Okay, interesting. Interesting. So in 2014. Oh, it became a hurricane. Okay. Bertha was a hurricane in 2014. Oh, wow. It formed in August. This is how early this is, guys. Usually it would form in August. This one, it formed in May, before the hurricane season started. So, very crazy stuff. All right. Okay. What else do we got going on here? Other than that, let me check if we have any update from the NEHS itself, National Hurricane Center. No, it does not look like it. Still the same since 8:30. Oh, here we have some flash flooding potential map now. So I'm going to be adding this to the stream. We have only a slight change for flash flooding, but It's still a chance, so I'm going to be adding this to the stream, as the biggest rainmaker is going to be flooding with this. So let me add it to the stream right here. Insert image, upload from computer. All right. Very nice. Where am I going to be putting this? That's the big question. Should we put it right here, perhaps? Should I even add this? Like this, maybe? There we go. I think that could be good. All right, back to the live stream. Okay, I think that looks all right. Perfect. But here's the latest info for the system. It's currently 10:15. Let's see if we have some more things to share. No, still 45 knots. We have no changements, so you know. It is pretty interesting. Just gonna say that. Pretty interesting stuff. Yeah, interesting. I keep saying interesting. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it otherwise, you know. Yeah, I love the word interesting too. Everything's interesting in the world. You know? Very interesting. But yeah, we do have I believe we have a 10% chance of flash flooding in South and North Carolina. So it's not that high of a chance for flash flooding, but we do have that chance that's there. So we're gonna have to see how this does develop and stuff, but I believe there is, what is there? There is Corona, I guess that's what you mean, I'm not sure. Yeah, well, it's only a 10% chance for flash flooding, but I do believe there's going to be flash flooding with this. It's most likely, yeah, there's most likely going to be flash flooding. I wouldn't be surprised. All right. Let's see. Sorry. All right. Well, I think this might be the end now. It's getting close to 10:30, but is it spinning faster? Really? Well, that satellite imagery is behind, but let me just check the latest satellite imagery, which for some reason it won't let me download it, but let's see. Is it really spinning faster? Not sure. Oh, wow. I'm currently just looking at the latest satellite imagery. It has completely fallen apart. That landfall did not do any good for the system. I'm going to be honest. It has lost all its convection. Yeah, it has really fallen apart right now. Okay, I'm going to try to download that latest imagery, but it has really fallen apart. It was really falling apart. I'm trying to get that latest. Yeah, on your radar. But on what I'm looking at right now, on tropical tidbits on the satellite imagery radar, you can see that it's pretty much falling apart. I don't know why it won't let me download that satellite imagery. Let me check on my radar. Yeah, it's definitely spinning. It's going to be moving rather fast, though. Looking at this, though, I think there's chances here. I think there's going to be some very high thunderstorm warnings and stuff for East Florida. Because I'm looking at my radar right now, and I'm seeing showing some rather big thunderstorm for the east coast of Florida coming. But that's not what we're here to talk about right now. All right. The rain is weakening. Yeah, it's really falling apart rather quickly right now. The rain is weakening up. Weakening up? Oh my god, I can't speak. But yeah, it's really falling apart rather quickly at this point. It looks really good, but now it just completely falls apart. I mean, I think it has lost its center circulation. I think it's not a tropical storm anymore. It's probably down to tropical depression by now. But who knows? Checking for some update from the National Hurricane Center. Maybe they've said something, but I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely falling apart right now. This has been such a short-living storm. I think it's lived for only an hour. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad, not gonna lie. Imagine a hurricane only living for 1 hour. Still nothing for the tropical. We do have that system of development in the East Pacific, though, with a 70% chance of forming. Believe it or not. Still 1,004 millibars. Let's see this. Verse, all right. Okay. Yeah, so we don't have much other information right now. So we do have the year's rainfall potential, which I could put up on screen. Let me put that up on screen. Sorry about that. There's a storm by Florida that really can become another tropical. Really? Really? Let me check that out. He's saying there's a storm near Florida that could become another tropical. Interesting. Is it like west, east? Do you know about where? Checking my right now. Not too sure where. Oh, I see that little. Oh, yeah, interesting. I see what you're talking about. That's potential. But I think it's more connected to. Is it that little storm like right east of Florida in the ocean? Is that what you're talking about? I think that's what I'm seeing. Is it? Is it that storm like right east of Florida? Because if that's what you're talking about, it probably won't become another tropical storm because it's kind of like mostly connected to it's mostly connected to Bertha right here, but all right, so let me add that other. We're now adding another map to this. Oh, what did I do? Okay. All right, so I'm adding a. Hello?
All right. So
I'm adding another map to this. I'm gonna add a rain probability. Just because why not? Also from the National Hurricane Center. There it is. So it's predicting around 3 inches of rain at most. So we're gonna have to see if that does end up to be true. But who knows? Okay, so it's 10:27. I'll be ending the stream at 10:30. So I'm gonna be taking the latest questions, and then that'll be the end for today's live stream. So This is the latest that I'm going to be taking. And yeah, it'll be pretty much it. All right. If you have any more questions, I'll be taking them probably until maybe 10:30, 10:40, but that's pretty much it. So this is where we at right now. And then that'll be it. All right. Again, don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. All right, one more minute before I'm going to be going with this. Okay. All right, that is it. This has been Lasting News. This has been Lasting News live streaming service. And I will now be signing off. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you guys hopefully if you're subscribing in another video.